Hello precious friends, welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brenda Campbell. I'm an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. If you're already a friend, then thank you for returning. I'll be your guide as we go through the 8 steps of the Magical Zentangle Method of drawing. This is a practice, one that allows us to slow ourselves down and be present in this moment. A practice where we focus on one stroke at a time. And it's a practice that provides way too many benefits to list them here. This is a practice that can change your life. And I say that because it has changed mine. And that's why I believe it's magic. I hope you'll include a little Zentangle in your routine, and I'm honored to be part of your journey. I am participating in the Inktober challenge this year, and today is day 30. Now, at the beginning, I posted a short video where I talk about Inktober's origins and how it became an annual Zentangle challenge. My approach this year is a little different as I combine 2 Inktober lists. You can find a link to that introduction video at the end of this one. So grab some paper and a pen, find a comfy spot, and relax as we draw our 30th Inktober tile. So friends, today we're going to be using a black tile. I have my 3Z Zentangle tile. It's a triangle shaped tile and it measures approximately 3.5 inches or 8.89 centimeters on each side. I'm using a Sakura Gelly Roll 08 pen. I have a white chalk pencil and I have a tortillion for blending out my chalk. And that is all we need for our project today. So let's go ahead and clear our space as we get ourselves ready to begin with step 1, gratitude and appreciation. In this step, we are just going to take some breaths, slow ourselves down, do some reflecting. So let's go ahead and begin. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And another big breath in, getting tall as you inhale. And slowly exhale and relax as you do. And now just let your breath fall into a natural breathing rhythm. And pay attention to it. Notice each inhale and each exhale. And try and settle in a little more with every exhale. Now take a moment and think about something that you are grateful for. And let it be that first thought that popped into your mind. And once you have it, I want you to really hold on to it and feel into it. How does gratitude feel? And I want you to remember this feeling as we draw today. If you reach a spot where you feel like you're rushing, or maybe your lines are not going where you want them to, it's okay. Just stop yourself. Take a big breath in and a slow breath out. And remember this feeling. And then I think you'll be ready to go back to drawing. And that, my friends, is all there is to step 1, gratitude and appreciation. Step 2 is corner dots, and I'm going to use my chalk pencil to put a dot in each of my 3 corners. Step 3 is a border. I'm just going to connect my dots and make my border. Step 4 is a string. I'm skipping my string again today. And I'm picking up my white Gelly Roll pen. And we are going to go on to step 5, the tangles. And before we begin drawing, I just want to talk a moment about our tangle of the day and our prompt for Inktober. So today's tangle is Bonus by Angie Gittles, CZT. And this is such a fun tangle. Angie comes up with lots of fun tangles. And this is a good one, especially with the holidays coming up, because as you can imagine from the name, it does look like a bow. And you know how I am about tangles that look like things. I happen to really love them. So we're going to go ahead and begin. But the prompt from Jake Parker's Inktober list is vacant. And I did have a little trouble, but I do think I came up with an idea that will work. So we're going to go ahead and begin, and we are going to begin with the tangle bonus. So this tangle begins with a little circle. And from there, we're going to draw some loops. Now I'm going to draw 4 loops because my tile is not too big, so I don't have a whole lot of room. Okay, so I have my 4 loops, and now I am going to go on the right side of my loop. I'm going to come up from the center and curl it the opposite direction. And I'm going to do that on each of these 4 loops. Okay, now from the tip of this curly line we drew, we are going to connect this to the loop next to it. And I am going to kind of do a little dip in my line as I do that. Okay, so that's all there is to our tangle bonus. Now I'm going to go ahead though and give it some drama. So I am going to fill in all of my loops that I began with. Okay, so we have our tangle, and now we're going to try to incorporate our prompt. Now our prompt for today is vacant, and the only thing I could imagine is that there would be a bow on top of this little, I guess it's going to be a bird cage. Or I put a little door in the middle, or that door. And now I am just going to draw some bars for our cage. And then, of course, we'll need some that come across this way. So I'm drawing these behind. Let's just put a little rivet to hold them together where they connect. I guess this feels like it needs a little bit more of a base. So I'm just more or less thickening up this bottom. And just to give it some added attention, I guess, I'm gonna fill in the aura around our little door. Now I'm just trying to darken up a little bit. Some of this white. And I think I want to put a little ribbon coming off of the bow. Maybe this one will come up that way. And I'm going to make a little sign to help solidify my theme or my prompt. So our little bird cage is for rent. It's vacant. Hopefully that's enough for my prompt. But I think we're done with step 5, the tangles. And I'm putting my pen away and I'm picking up my white chalk. And we are going to go ahead and try to add a little bit more contrast here. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of white chalk in all of our other bars in our bird cage here. Then let's go ahead and put some in our bow give it a little bit of color. And now I'm going to grab my white chopped tortillion, and I'm just blending this out. And see, you just notice we're getting another color, I guess, but just another layered level of contrast with this, blending out this chalk. So it's not quite as dark as the white gel ink we put in our loops of our bonus, but it's still nice. It makes it a little easier to see. And remember, shading is really all about contrast, not necessarily shadow. I'm gonna grab it again. And let's see. Put a little, I'm just experimenting with this, but we're gonna see if that looks like a bit of a shadow underneath that little ribbon. Maybe I'll add a little bit here, just to two sides to blend out. I think that's really all we need. Just put a little bit in there. And I suppose I could blend out the bottom border line here, just to give it some grounding. Let's add a little more here. Okay, I think that's good enough. So we're done with step 5 and we're done with step 6, the shading. And I'm picking up my white pen one more time, and we are going to put our initials on the front for step 7, which is initial and sign. So I will put my little chop over here. And then I will flip it over after I give it a little wave to dry. Then I'm going to sign it and date it, but I always date it off camera. And then my note is that this is for day 30 of Inktober 2025. And then we'll flip it back over for step 8, which is to appreciate again. So this is where we take a moment, take a look at what we've drawn, appreciate our fun little piece of art, appreciate the time that we took for ourselves. I know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So thank you so very much for joining me today. And as always, remember to be you and be happy.